the Chainsaw anime so far, episodes 1 and 2. Yo, let me tell you, I'm loving it. Just from the character itself, I believe Denji is his name. Oh man, this is terrible. And I'm over here talking about it. Yeah, so as far as Denji, the protagonist, already a lot more different from 99% of the protagonists we had with anime. Now, this is being a casual fan. I do not watch multiple animes a month or a week, a month. And it's debatable a year. It's debatable depending on which year you catch me. So to me, Denji is unique. We have a lot of different characteristics compared to other protagonists. And his life, just to start off on the first episode, his father ending his life and the burden of his father having to go to Denji as far as the amount of debt, as far as having to kill these other devils to the boss or whatever. That way he doesn't die. Yo, that is garbage. That is garbage. That is terrible. And watching this, I was just like, this is beautiful. So Denji and Pochita, which is his smaller devil that has the chainsaw. Now, for any of you guys that watch the manga, read the manga, you're probably like, oh, he's finally getting into it. Yo, you got to continue. I am. But based on the first episode, we get the usual. We get introduced to the main character. From there, we get a little bit of knowledge on his life before the powers. And then eventually towards the end of the episodes, they either get the power, the ability, they unlock it, or something happens at the end of the episode where, all right, now we see how we're getting to how it's going to pan out for the rest of the season. So Denji broke, almost enslaved to a certain extent, with a heavy amount of debt. We understand a couple things from him. He is willing to do whatever it takes to pay off his debt, whether it's selling an eye, whether it's selling his left nut. He's got to do what he's got to do just to be able to be free. Also, seeing as how he doesn't do much, he's barely able to enjoy food, and just being able to, his dreams consisting of being able to eat better food or just having a girlfriend shows him he's a very humble guy. Besides the fact he has a large amount of debt, he's mad humble. He doesn't want much. He hasn't experienced enough in life to have large dreams, but rather the regular day-to-day experiences we experience in life are his fantasies. So within that first episode, seeing that gradual build-up, seeing the relationship between Denji and Pochita, I'm like, yo, that's his Pokemon. Yo, straight up, Pochita, Pichu. You see where I'm coming from? That's his Pokemon. The dynamic between the two, the relationship. I was just like, oh man, this is beautiful. I wasn't expecting the turnaround with eventually Denji dying, literally being shredded by zombies. I was just like, hacked away by zombies, which was a bit confusing. I was just like, I get they're zombie devils, but you're hacking him. Why not eat him? And of course, that bites the main devil. That bites his ass because that's how Denji kills him. But Denji, so it sort of reminded me of Attack on Titan when Eren died. I'm like, oh, damn, he's dying on the first episode. Now, how this all happens. Pochita doing the contract with Denji coming back to life. And, well, Pochita being the heart for Denji. Nah, he came back to life. He was dead. It wasn't a simple heartbeat. His body was just chopped up. Yeah, his body was just chopped up. All he needed was a heart transplant. No, get out of here. Yeah, that man was dead. And for him to come back to life as the chainsaw, man, yo, the chainsaw coming right from the face, his two arms. I'm not sure if this does happen. I highly doubt it. But yo, throw some chainsaw wings on there for the hell of it. I hope this happens. Some chainsaw wings, a chainsaw tail, chainsaw feet. The ultimate final form is just a giant chainsaw. And it's just floating with its own, how would I put it? It's just floating like a One Piece weapon that consumed the devil fruit. It's just with its eyes. Anyhow, loving the way things played out in the first episode. A protagonist that doesn't have the same characteristics or dreams and his vision as everybody else, at least to how I consume anime, makes this very refreshing. It isn't like we have a grand scheme of having to annihilate every devil. It's just more of I want to be able to live day to day and just be able to enjoy the more simple things in life that for Denji is a fantasy. To other people, it's just another Tuesday. So I found that to be very gratifying. Going on into episode 2, I'm not gonna lie, this was a bit of a chore of an episode. Of course, we have to set a foundation, introduce new characters, get some exposition as far as Denji, what is he, his powers, his associates, what do they do, what's the profession, what's the environment like, getting to introduce the world more than the little bits and pieces we got in the first episode. So I believe, because right now I have a list of characters, I want to be good with the names. Being introduced to Aki, Angel, and I want to say Power. Yes, Power. It was dope, of course, seeing Devil Hunters. The usual stuff we get animes from organizations. We got to chop these people up. Devil Hunters, Aki being serious, and I believe he has a crush on Angel, without a doubt. That's her name, right? He has a crush on Angel. We're going to see how this plays out throughout the season. Power with her horns. I don't understand what they mean by fiend. I definitely have to go back to figure it out. But it's just like, fiend, what is that? I watched episode 2 and I was still lost. I'll worry about it some other time. Was it? And Angel, we got more information from her. And overall, the episode, getting food and even how much tension there was even for Denji to order food, passing out multiple times due to the blood loss of turning into the chainsaw man, to him not even, being able to properly digest the fact that it's like, whoa, I get to eat food and I don't pay for it. Like the mental fatigue, the mental strength it took just for him to accept that and ultimately having to get fed. I was just like, you ain't seen this anywhere else. You not. I don't know, put me onto some animes and manga, but you ain't seen this anywhere else. And from there, of course, we get the usual, hey, you're being introduced to this guy, you got to pair her up. Denji kicking Aki in the balls multiple times when they got into their conflict. I was just like, more people need to do this in animes. There's this whole, y'all already know, the whole deal with, hey, if you got powers, you got to yell it, you got to announce it, you got to have this fighter pride and go hand in hand. Denji, already from what I'm seeing, I'm liking it. Hey, we going straight for the nuts. We ain't trying to do this samurai sword, this Goku pride. I'm going to get my ones in. I'm going to get my hits in at any means necessary. At any means necessary. We're loving that. And of course, throughout the course of the episode, he basically got everything he wanted, ranging from a cute girl who he eventually wants to be her boyfriend, food, just escaping that depth and being more free. And throughout this episode, he sort of has a conflict of what's next if he already has it all. And it's crazy because for me, it's just like, dog, you ain't got it all. The hell, you eventually got to get your own place. You eventually got to be able to, have your own whip, all that other stuff. But to him, it's just like, it was better than what he had already. And after killing a devil, going through another conversation with Aki, it clicked. Looked at some pornographic magazines and he was like, you know what? I need boobs in my life. And I was just like, he's a man of culture. He's a man of culture. He enjoys the simple things. Hey, this man just want a girl with some boobs. And that being his new goal, I'm like, all right, this anime is badass already first episode. This right here, it isn't, I want to save the world. I want to save my town. I want to blah, 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 the same typical stuff, which there's nothing wrong with that. But my man just wants some boobs. That's all he wants in life. So from there, episode 2, loving the comedic sense in this. I didn't discuss Power too much, but I mean, she a hyped up fiend that is bloodlusted by devils. She's a complete maniac, highly animated, and she's definitely going to be that bit of a powerhouse that's unpredictable, but there's eventually going to be a fun bond between them two. I'm on episode 2 so far.